Hello YouTube, I'm back again with another exciting video. This duel video, I have to record. It's very important. It's a must-watch video because you'll realize it's definitely very exciting. Not only because I pulled off this Pendulum Magician combo, but what I'm up against. So you'll be surprised I'm actually up against Fire Fist deck, but there's a twist. It revolves around the seal of Orichalcos. I'm kind of confused as well, because I'm pretty sure the Fire Fist monsters do need monsters from their extra deck, like whether it be Xyz or Synchros, but it makes sense to play the Seal of Orichalcos, like after you spell summon the monsters, but at the same time, if that's face up, it's like you're kind of locked into monsters from your hand, main deck, and graveyard. Like, yeah, the best way would be to revive those Synchro and sea monsters. But a lot of times, if you don't have access to those cards from your extra deck and you're locked in using the effects of the Orichalcos, then it's like you gotta find a way to get rid of the Orichalcos, but at the same time, it can only be activated once per duel. But I kind of like the logic behind it because Fire Fist heavily revolves around a bunch of continuous cards, as well as spells and traps. And I think the logic behind it is supposed to make their combo more efficient. Not only because would they gain a lot of attack, that it ensures that a lot of the monsters that they have are always 500 points stronger. And what I mean by that, if you have easy access to monsters that are level 5 or higher, if there's level 7 or 8, like what you see right now, then it will pay off for you guys. Either way, he's sending. I'm aware of how the Fire Fists work. Usually, what they do is this is the same old combo. They set a bunch of Fire Formation cards, whether it be Tensu, Tenki, Tenken, and then they'll get rid of one of them. They'll send one to the grave to activate another, or use additional effects to set another formation. So this isn't anything new, besides the ones that revolve around the Orichalcos, which you see right now. The one thing I am curious about the artwork, it does look really cool, in my opinion. But I don't know if these are cards that were introduced in Fire Fist in the OCG, or if he really edited these photos, if he really did some Photoshop and utilized this artwork, then I have to give him credit for that. Either way, it's eventually going to be a long turn, so just gotta see what he's about to bust out. He gains 1,500 life points. You can go ahead with me. Alright, let me put on some sound. Alright. Eventually I'm going to have to fast forward. Now it's my turn finally. So I'll activate this time during my main phase. I'm about to activate High Impact. After his monsters gain attack. So essentially, he's going to have to keep one card in the field. And they send the majority of cards to the graveyard that are on his field until he can show up to the number of our cards I do. But in return, he gets to draw one card up to the number of cards I control. If you guys are aware of High Impact works, he has no response, which is lucky for me. But when he does draw, I can only tap with one monster during my battle phase to turn activate this card. So his choice, which cards he gets to keep. So sure, he'll draw one. He has a resolution effect, sure. I'm gonna reset. Let my opponent respond. So he'll be able to trigger his Fire Fist cards, which is fine by me. Go ahead. He'll use his Ox effect. I assume to search. And he has another graveyard effect. Sure, he can summon a Sabertooth, that's fine by me. He's gonna use a Canid. I assume that's a quick effect, because he controls Seal. I'll normal summon Hippos to search for Harmonizing. And I'll activate Pendulum Graph and then place Pendulum Magician on the right scale, and I'll use the effect to place Double Iris onto the left scale. But now I'm locked into Dragon Spellcasters thanks to Pendulum Magician, which is, Perform Sky Pendulum Magician. My bad, you guys. Let us continue. He's going to activate Orch thanks to his Cannon's effect. Let's proceed and get on with the duel. I remind him that now I can bounce my double iris, supposed to summon Pendulum Magician. Sure. I let him know that's fine. Okay, cool. Gets into grave. I'm about to link 2 for Beyond the Pendulum. I paid 1200 life points. I'm going to search for another pendulum, which is going to be Horocraft Sorcerer. As you see, you'll eventually find out why. To go into one of my Supreme Kings, I set the pendulum scale 9 to 1, so I can pendulum summon between level 8 and 2. And I forgot, because of Sky Pendulum Magician's effect, I'm locked to dragons and spellcasters. I appreciate it for reminding me. And I'll pendulum some Harmonizing. I'll use Harmonizing as an effect. Supposed to summon White Wing. I'll exceed for Time Star. Times effect allows me to search. Black Fang Magician. Then I use Ritual Orhive's Magician's effect, which is Ritual Dragon Monster. I'll pop it. So first I gotta gain the 2500. Thanks to its pen effect, I pop my Beyond the Pendulum. And thanks to it, I'm allowed to add a Pendulum Monster from my deck to my hand. Because I followed the cost. Now I'm about to use Horocraft Sorcerer's effect. I draw 2. Because 2 or more cards in my field were destroyed this turn. So, see now. About to go to another Link 2, which is Link Magician. And now I'm going to perform a Fusion Summon thanks to Horocraft Sorcerer, which I'm sure you're aware of, and I'm excited to summon. The monster I'm most excited for is Supreme King Arc V, or Arc 5. Now you guys will be aware of what his how his effect works when he's fusion summoned. When he's fusion summoned, he cannot be special summoned by other ways, but fusion summoned. When he's special summoned this way, you can banish all cards your opponent controls, and they can't activate cards in response. And it took me 6 monsters in order to summon this guy. So either way, with specific names, and just like card types we're talking about here. So, but if you can read their effects, it's treated as a fusion, synchro, ritual, exceed, pendulum card for all those cards I mentioned. And I had to banish my Horocraft Sorcerer off basically 6 to summon this guy. So it wasn't easy, but I just want to manage to fulfill this accomplishment, even though I've done this before with against the Bententualist. I feel like I didn't really get to show you guys. But overall, I can say this is a duel that I don't regret recording, which is worth watching. Definitely was back and forth in my opinion, even though I had a considerably huge amount of life points compared to the differentiation. The differentiation, my bad, sorry, my lisp. But the whole point, you guys, I just want you to enjoy this video, and I could say it's definitely worth watching, 100%. But summoning this guy, consider how broken his effect is. You can't deny his summoning condition is very difficult, and it requires a lot of names. So, although considering the payoff, it is very difficult. But then it feels worth it when you manage to put in all the work and thought, and you used a lot of the card strategy, especially to pull it off in one turn. That in itself is incredible, and I managed to do that one turn. And the card I have to thank because of it, considering my opponent had several responses. If I did not get rid of his interruptions with high impact, I would not manage to summon this guy, to be honest. And even though he managed to break through and retaliate by reviving his Fire Fist cards, Supreme King Arc V or Arc 5 managed to seal the deal with banishing all of his cards on field, and plus he cannot respond. But sometime in the future, you guys, Eventually, if I can do the best, if I can get the recognition for my hard work and effort, which I really appreciate, I I trust me on this, and I do hope for it. But I guarantee you, I will be able to continue making this kind of content consistently, whether it be duel videos, rants, podcasts. I've already mentioned before. Unless I see results, I need those results in order for me to thrive and continue to bring you more lovable content for you to enjoy, to be able to have opinions, to feel free to watch whatever you want, have more options. But I need results, you guys. And it does mean a lot. I do believe in my supporters. I can tell you now, I know there are a lot of people that I'm familiar with who will not let me down, who've been there for me. But if I can get people to be able to recognize my videos and give my videos the attention, and for you guys to be there and be aware of what I'm capable of and appreciate what I'm doing, then I will proceed again making new content, because that's the reason why I don't make as many long videos throughout my content. It's usually shorts because it's usually a lot more easier for my viewers, and they don't want to spend more than a minute to actually watch, and they feel more entertained that way. But I'll try. I'm still overall concerned. I'm being independent. Doing this all on my own is not easy. But I already feel like I said enough for today. Overall, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Be sure to check for more upcoming content in the future. Be sure to check your notifications, comment, like, subscribe. Thank you.